Sean's Vision Studios. Hi guys, welcome to Sean's show. And today's guest is Tatiane. Is that how I say it?
Tatiane.
How do I say it?
Tatiane. Tatiane.
Tatiane?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm here with Tatiane and as my guest, and I have a few questions for you.
Of course.
So, what made you move to the United States?
Yeah, well, I am from Brazil, and my father used to live here when I was a child. Growing up, I always wanted to come to. I didn't get a chance to come when I was a child, so I wanted to learn the language and also study here, and that was my major reason to come.
How many degrees do you have? I heard that you're really, really smart and that you're like a talent. You know what they say is that I'm a trade of many things, but a master of none. Well, I feel like it's the opposite. You're a master of a lot of talents, and you are a master. I should say that.
Oh, thank you for that. I have a couple degrees. I have data processing, and I have a bachelor's in social communication, with its journalism and marketing. I also have, I've been doing the translation classes too, Portuguese, English, and now I'm doing fine arts. And I'm mostly connected with arts, especially healing arts, which is the next step I want to take.
And I understand the camera can see this little guy. And what is your name?
Liam.
Liam. So what grade are you in, Liam?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Oh, you was talking about the degrees that you have. You said you have some in communications, correct?
Yes.
And that's social communications.
Yes, that's journalism and marketing.
What is social communications? Explain that to some of the people who are taking communications as a major.
Okay, so in Brazil it's different from here. It's a double major. So half of the course we learned how to be a journalist, and the other half we've learned things like edit magazines and marketing, especially in TV marketing too, and newspapers.
So it looks like your son is trying to show me something. What are you trying to show me?
My Duolingo list.
A what list?
A Duolingo lesson list.
And do you want to explain that to some people? Well, I'll show it to the cameras.
Oh, it's upside down. What is that, Liam?
The Duolingo list.
What is it about?
About my new language learning.
So you're learning
French.
French. Okay. So how is that going for you?
Good.
You know, you said you're in kindergarten, right?
Yes.
You know, many kindergartners do not know a second language. Like, probably only 1% of kindergartners.
I know a second language.
Yeah, he is fluent in Portuguese too.
Right. What I'm trying to say is that when you know more than one language, it's still, no matter how many languages you know, it's still considered as a second language.
Mm-hmm.
Because your first language is always going to be, here in the United States, is always going to be English. So if you learn anything other than English, it's always going to be known as your second language. Did you know that?
No.
Now you do.
Yeah, in Brazil it's known as polyglotta. It means poly, more than two. So that's why it's confusing, because I explained to him that when you learn more than two, you get like poly, which means more than two. Yeah.
With all your degrees that you have, do you see yourself becoming a teacher or a professor, or even do you even want to teach? And do you see yourself as a master degree?
Yes, that's definitely the goal. I love to teach. I have a lot of compassion for people, especially people with disability, any kind of a disability, and also seniors too. So I have in mind a project to bring art to people that are suffering from mental health issues. And it could be from children to seniors, and also like projects with like people dying of like having cancer and they're in the hospitals, and bring art to them too. Like I always had this dream of doing that. So I plan to get a major in healing arts, something like a master's degree in healing arts.
So, you wanted to take a master in arts. I get that. But going back to your first question, what really made you move to the United States? And that must be a big, big difference from you going from Brazil to the United States. What are the challenges from going from one country to another country and leaving stuff behind? I know you had to leave your family behind. You had to leave your friends behind. And how difficult is that? Like, start with the first question: is what were the transitions? That must have been really difficult.
Yes, it was. First thing is like when I was 5, my father moved here. So he lived here for more than 10 years, and that was very difficult because he's my favorite person in the entire world. And then when I was working on a newspaper in Brazil, they sent me to Florida to a Brazilian guy's farm. He has this kind of horses called Passo Fino, the breed. And I just fell in love. I always wanted to come and study here and to perfect my English, which I'm still trying to do. So that was my biggest motivator. And answering about the hard parts, it's really, really hard not being able to be with my mom. She has Parkinson's disease. But being here helps me to give her a better life too, because I provide for her in Brazil ever since my first job. And knowing that she is sick and I'm not around hurts me a little bit. And also like my brother, my sister, immediate family that I left behind. But I try to go at least once every 2 years, go back to make things better.
That must be a difficult position that you're in with your mom having Parkinson's disease, and it must be really, really a struggle for you not being there for your mom. So do you find it difficult, like, because your mom has Parkinson's disease, do you feel like you should be there instead of here? I get it. You got two families here. You got a family out in the United States, and you also got a family in Brazil. Like,
yeah.
So how do you transition with the two? I understand that you also try to take time to go there at least every 2 years, but what happens if you can't get there every 2 years?
Well, it's fine. Nowadays, like when my father was here, the communication was bad. He had to go outside his house to call. Nowadays, you have WhatsApp, you have camera, so I can see her every day. And she lives close to family. Another big factor that I took in consideration being here or there is that $1, the currency, like in Brazil, it's real, it says 6 times more. So $1 is 6 times more than my currency. Her meds are super expensive. So a way for me to be able to buy those meds is like being here. So I had to ponder a lot, and considering all of these things, it's better for me. I give her a better life being here.
That's awesome. So is there anything that you want to talk about on this podcast while you're here? Because I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff, and I know for a fact that I didn't do my full research on the reason why I wanted you here. I know one of the reasons why I wanted you here is because you did move from another country. Mm-hmm. And I wanted people to hear how difficult that transition is. Because not many people can pick up from another country and settle in another country. Never mind picking up from one state and, it's just Chicago. I can move to Massachusetts anytime I want because I'm still in the United States. When you move from a country, that's a whole bigger ball game. That's something that many people can't do.
That's true. I think everything that makes you grow takes like pain and suffering sometimes, and that's exactly what I have to go through, especially because it's a new language that I have to learn. Like I know lots of people that have been here for 20 years and they haven't been able to learn. Some people think it's laziness. It's not. It's super hard to learn another language. Not everybody can do that. I understand. So it takes courage, but it's worth it. I think it gave me an opportunity of maybe like living two lives in the same life, if you know what I'm saying. Because being in another country is the same as having a different life. It's super different from what it is in my country to live here, you know. Language wise, is like like if I compare the college with my first degree college, everything is different. So it's a challenge. It's still a challenge for me. But I like challenges, so I'm happy about it.
What benefits do you get staying in this country from another country, from the original country that you're from?
Well, I like it better, first of all. Otherwise, I wouldn't have become a citizen here. I would have gone back, to be honest. Many things I think it's better here, especially because I have a son, which is American, and I want the best education for him, for example. And I think the education here is better than in Brazil. I prioritize him over anything, and I think it's best for him. Although I try to teach him the culture, I'm never not gonna be Brazilian, and I love being Brazilian and Brazilian American. But I think it's better, like in all the factors I had to list to have this decision of being here. One of them being my mom to provide for her. And second of all, like after having my son, I realized that this is a better place for him to be.
So, what do you like about this country?
Comparing to Brazil?
Yeah, compared to Brazil, what do you like most about this country than Brazil?
Well, I love the friends I was able to make here. For example, I love the culture, the opportunity to be in a school. Outside of my country. It's amazing, like to experience that, to learn things differently from what I was taught in Brazil and in another language. So all of these things are factors that made me decide to stay.
Have you been to many other states besides Massachusetts, or you just chose Massachusetts and stayed in this state?
No, I came to go to Florida, the farm I told you about. And then I've visited many other states. I have been to Florida, back to Florida a couple of times because I have friends there. But I've been in Connecticut, Rhode Island, and I plan to travel more in the future too, here and in Brazil, because Brazil is huge and I don't know every part of my country. So, but judging by the state I live, which is Massachusetts, I mean, of course, there's things that I think should be better, like health, for example. But I am like glad to be here, you know. And I really like the state and the entire United States, to be honest.
Back to your education. You said the education was great. Do you want your son to follow in the same education that you have, or do you want him to have something that he actually enjoys doing?
Well, I'm all for letting other people live their lives. I definitely want to guide him, but whatever he wants to be, I just want to support him. Because I think every person have this natural way of doing things, or the things that you enjoy the most. And I think you're not going to be a happy person if you're not doing something you intended to be doing. So whatever he wants to do, I just hope I can support him and guide him. Of course, I'm going to say that if you get a bachelor's degree, you are going to be in a better future than if you just stop studying. I am all for education. I only think you can get better if you search for the ways to learn more and more. Your brain has a huge capacity. We don't use most of it. So the more you learn, the better and the smarter you're going to get.
My final question is, what do you like most about this state, and what do you hate most about this state?
Good question. Well, right now it's not fun to be an immigrant. Everybody judges you because your race or your accent, and they assume you don't have your papers, you're here illegally. So that's really hard for me, not only in Massachusetts, but the entire United States. I wish people could see other people like just human beings, you know, and not judge them because they're coming from another country. Everybody has a lot to offer, and it takes a kind heart not to judge and not to point fingers.
Well, I should say, what do you like about the state so far?
Well, what I like is like the opportunities. Like I have the opportunity to come to this college and learn. I like the friends I've made. I like being able to learn another language. I just the only thing I just like is like the snow because in Brazil it's always summer. So that's the most annoying part. But other than that, like I appreciate having the seasons defined. In Brazil, we don't have like winter clothes, for example. And here, when I got here, I was lost because I didn't know how to dress to be prepared for winter. I was always cold, you know. So that's one thing. And I don't like not having family around. Like right now, I have my son with me because I don't want to leave him with strangers. He's the most precious thing I have. So I'd rather bring him with me. And also I serve as a role model to him to know like where he can be in the future too. So yeah, these are the things that I'm a very appreciative person. So I tend not to focus on the negative or the bad things about anything. I try to see good things about everybody and everything, and that's what I live for.
My last question, is there anything else you want to talk about or add to this podcast?
Yeah, there's one thing that I think is crucial for being here and representing Latinos and other races, and to say that some people don't have the courage to get a degree here because it's really hard to learn a language, let alone learning a language and learning other subjects in that language. And also, by being a mom, he's only 5. So, of course, he depends on me. Other moms, sometimes they feel like, oh, no, that's going to be impossible. And I'm here to prove that it's not. We can conciliate, like, family, work, and having kids and not let that be, like, a block. So you are not going to be a better person or not get more educated. I think it's the opposite. You have to see things with other lenses. Like, well, I have a son, and I have to be the best I can be, so he will feel influenced or like guided and have someone to look up to. So.
I have one more not another final, but another question. You mentioned your son, and I get it, you love him. Does he ever go to class for you when he's on school vacation?
Yes. This is his school vacation this week. And he was in class with me for like 4 times this week, 3 times this week, because Monday was a holiday. And he's usually like incredible. He behaves, and very smart kid, super friendly. So I'm just glad that God gave me the chance of being his mom.
Now, this must be really difficult. Not only did you move from another country, but you also come in here as a student and also as a worker, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So how do you juggle the two and still take care of your son? That's got to be really difficult.
It is. Some days I'm exhausted by the end of the day, and I still have like dinner to make, but I wouldn't choose any other way. I feel like when you choose to be as productive, learning new skills, I'm trying to learn a new skill every month. And that's really brave of me, especially having a 5-year-old that I have to provide for, take care, and take him to school. He doesn't have a school class. He doesn't have a babysitter, so he comes with me. All of this is hard, but I'd rather be doing what's hard than not doing anything at all.
So when do you really have the time to actually get all your studies done, especially at home? So when do you actually? So it's gonna be really difficult. You want to talk to some of the viewers who is going to say, "Oh, I can't go to school because I have a kid and I don't know how to handle that." And well, you're handling that more than what other people can. So you want to elaborate how difficult it is and and some of your techniques?
That is an excellent question. I try to be the best I can. I don't try to be better than anyone else. It's just like my personal goal is to get better. And I try to keep my GPA high and to get good grades. And I'm going to be honest, homework is a load, like it takes a huge part of my day. I think it's to a point that it's a little excessive, the amount of homework. I had to downgrade from taking 4 classes to 2 because of that. And I also do work study. So it's really hard. I do my work usually overnight. I'm a night person. So after he goes to sleep, after I had dinner, sometimes I'm so exhausted I nap a little bit when I get home. I make dinner, and then we all get ready. He sleeps, and then I'll do my homework. So it's a very big day. Like, it's a long day every day.
When you're a college student, even without having a son, how much sleep? Is this really, truly true that when people say, when do you sleep? It's like, what is sleep? I never heard of sleep in my life. I don't get anything. So is it really true as another college student that once you start college, sleep goes right out the window?
Well, it's true. I was able to sleep more before I had my son. To be honest, even I would take like little naps. I feel like my brain gets really tired from all of the things I want to learn, the books I want to read, the languages I want to learn. So it's exhaustive. Like, the brain really feels exhausted. But sometimes a 20-minute nap made me feel energized, and I'm able to restore my energy and do more. So I think I also respect free time and not doing anything a lot. Like, I choose to have free time. Like, I want to watch a series, I watch a series. But most of the time, I watch classes online, so to learn a new skill, instead of watching like Netflix or binge watching Netflix. I try to stop myself from not doing things that give pleasure to me, like going for a walk, going get ice cream, or I'm not always studying. I study most of the time. I read a lot. I listen to podcasts and audiobooks, but I take my nap. I just watch something on YouTube, or sometimes it's like, or I love like playing guitar and translating songs, and that's a great way to learn a new language. And considering things as fun and not chores, I think it helps a lot,
Thank you. That's all the questions I have. Please subscribe to my channel, with my YouTube channel, which is Sean's Vision Studios. And it was nice to have you on the show.
Nice to have you too. Thanks for having me.
And your name is Tatiana, right?
Tatiane.
And yeah. Liam. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to meet you too, Sean.
Nice to meet you, Sean.